It is more important to be faithful than to be famous. Character is developed by staying steady through tests and trials. Leaders fail when they sacrifice their character on the altar of compromise. Mr. Nelson Mandela refused to compromise. That's how we remember you, for what you stood for, not what you fell for. I think we've made reputation more important than character, and we're suffering for it. We've made position more important than disposition. We're suffering for it. We need people like Mr. Nelson Mandela again. Maybe we need a female to be like him. I wonder who will gather around you when you die. Who's coming to see you when you breathe your last breath? Would the world weep, or would they say good riddance? Would they feel sorry you left and wish you stayed? Great leaders have no need for reputation, because that's what people think about you. But they have a passion for their character. That's who they know they are. Reputation is what you are in public. Character is what you are in private. Your convictions show up under pressure. You become one with yourself. And character will require a price. I was thinking about the price that we have to pay for character. I want to read this verse from the book of Romans. It says, be not conformed any longer to this world, but be ye what? Transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. My goal today, as we pay this tribute to the legacy and the work of Mr. Nelson Mandela, is to help transform your mind. To help you understand that we too can make a contribution. That we also can change the world, and we don't need to be a lot of people to change the world. If you stand strong enough, you'll have an impact. Because we see everything falling apart. We may be imprisoned by other people's hatred, but they can never lock us up from our convictions. Become a convict of your convictions, and you will set people free, like Nelson Mandela. I want to close with the church, and I'm going through this for a reason. I want you to just read this with me, please. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. His Son so loved the world, he gave the world the church. Do you understand what I just said? For God so loved the world, he gave his Son. His Son so loved the world, he gave the church. The church was given to the world by Jesus. And he said, go into all the world and preach the kingdom. Bring change. You are God's agency on earth. These are the worlds we must change. Politics, government, law. We must change every single part of our society. Economics, culture, civil society, arts, family, education, the medical world, business and religion. We must make sure we influence all of these worlds. That's why you must stay in your profession and make a difference. Mr. Mandela said something about education that changed my life. I quote him. He said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. He says education is your weapon. Because when you learn their system, you can dismantle it. When you learn their language, you can talk to them. When you learn their weapons, you can outsmart them. He understood it. Education. This is what Jesus meant when he says, I will build the church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against the church. We have a responsibility to pick up where Mr. Nelson Mandela left off. And I speak to all the thousands who are watching this program live all over the world, in your own community, in your own country, in your own city, in your own neighborhood. I decided that years ago. I'm renewing that dedication because of this great man who inspired me so much. The church is God's answer to the world.